Will Smith had always believed in using his fame for good. Over the years, he had donated to countless causes, visited schools, funded programs, and stood by those who needed help. But this time, something felt different. A well-known charity he supported was hosting a big fundraising gala. Everyone who mattered in the city was going to be there: celebrities, CEOs, politicians. The red carpet would be rolled out, the media would be present, and the cameras would be flashing all night. Will decided he would attend the event, but not as a celebrity. He wanted to come as an ordinary person, someone unrecognized, someone no one would pay attention to. He wanted to see how people would treat someone they thought had nothing to offer. He dressed plainly, with no security, no entourage, no designer suit. Just a simple outfit, a cap pulled low, and a quiet demeanor. As he entered the venue, he wasn't stopped. The staff let him through, assuming he must be part of the guest list somehow. But as he walked through the glamorous crowd, he realized something. No one looked at him twice. Not one smile, not a welcome, not even eye contact. Everyone was too busy talking to those they thought were important. People looked right past him as if he was invisible. He tried to join a conversation near the bar, only to be brushed off. Someone even suggested he might be lost or in the wrong place. He moved to a corner of the room, watching as guests posed for pictures, clinked their glasses, and talked about their latest business ventures or vacations. There was very little talk about the actual cause, helping underprivileged children. Will stood there, feeling out of place in an event meant to raise money for the same children he had spent years supporting. A woman beside him looked him up and down, then turned to her friend and whispered something while glancing at him. They both laughed. It was a strange feeling, being judged in a room he had helped fund with his donations over the years. One man walked up to Will and asked bluntly, "Are you here to ask for help or something?" The tone wasn't kind. It was mocking, almost disgusted. Will didn't respond. He just smiled politely and walked away. But inside, he was disappointed, not because he had been insulted, but because it proved something he had always suspected. Many people attend charity events not to help others, but to make themselves look good. They're not there to lift people up, they're there to lift their own image. And if someone doesn't look the part, they're treated like an outsider, like someone who doesn't belong. Will stood quietly in the back as the host of the evening took the stage. The host began announcing the names of big donors and thanking them one by one. The room applauded, but it felt hollow. Will had enough. He took off his cap, walked slowly to the front, and stepped up onto the stage. The host looked confused. Whispers filled the room. A few people gasped as they realized who it was. Will Smith, the same man they had ignored for over an hour. Will took the mic. The room fell silent. Everyone was watching. No one knew what he was going to say. He looked around slowly, then spoke. "I came here tonight not as Will Smith the actor, not as someone you see on movie screens. I came as a regular man, a human being. I wanted to see what it felt like to walk into a place like this without a famous name, without cameras, without special treatment." He paused, and what I saw broke my heart. He continued, his voice calm but heavy with meaning. "People judged me by what I wore, by how I looked. They laughed. They whispered. They ignored me. And that's okay. I don't need attention. But imagine if I was someone who actually needed help. Someone without money, without fame, without anything. Would you still treat them the same way you treated me tonight?" The room was quiet. Eyes dropped to the floor. Some looked ashamed. Others looked stunned. Will added, "Charity isn't just about writing big checks. It's about kindness. It's about respect. It's about seeing people, all people, as worthy of dignity. And tonight, I saw how easy it is for people to forget that." He looked at the host, then back to the crowd. "I had planned to make a private donation. But now I think it's important to make it public. Not to show off, but to remind you all what this night is supposed to be about." He announced his donation, a massive contribution that shocked everyone in the room. But it wasn't the number that mattered. It was the silence that followed, filled with reflection, embarrassment, and realization. Will thanked them for listening and left the stage. This time, people didn't look through him. They looked at him, truly looked, and many didn't know what to say. They had treated one of the kindest, most generous men in the world like he didn't belong. And in doing so, they were forced to confront a truth they had long ignored. Sometimes the most powerful message doesn't come from fame or money. It comes from being silent, watching, and then speaking the truth when it matters most. That night, Will Smith didn't just give money. He gave something far more valuable, a lesson in humanity.